Welcome to the Good Place Marionville podcast, dedicated to highlighting the good in Marionville, Missouri. On each episode, we share stories and events that feature why Marionville is a good place to live and work. Our team will bring you updates from various perspectives, including reports from local journalists, everyday citizens, city officials, school representatives, businesses, and nonprofits.
Today's episode will continue our commitment to showcase the goodness in Marionville, uniting our community through shared stories of hope and optimism. While mainstream news often focuses on the negative, our town's potential and rich history deserve to be celebrated and shared. So hang out with us for a while we cover some good things this week.
So, a nonprofit highlight. We need to take a moment and honor the amazing man, Bruce Shatzer, who passed away on the 19th of April. Bruce has been running the Marionville clothing distribution and the hangout for many years. Bruce had such a heart for this community, meeting the needs of those around him and sharing the love of Jesus. He will truly be missed. Never did he charge for anything that he gave away. Now we're just waiting to see who will step up and take over where Bruce left behind.
You know, I just want to comment on that, Jim, because I think it's amazing how many people Bruce has touched over the years. And again, we need to remember to take the opportunity to thank people while they're still around. And I think this is just a great reminder to thank people that are helping us out.
That's right. All right. So let's talk about the election results. Last Marionville, Good Place Marionville podcast, we didn't have the results yet.
Yes.
We kind of assumed some of them, but just so you know, Mayor Dale Blankenship, who was on our last episode, was reelected. His term now expires in April of 2026. Angie Norris joins the Alderman board, and her term will expire in a couple of years. She's in Ward 1, and Kevin Bliss is still in Ward 1. He'll be joined by Angie, and he gets expired in 2025.
He gets expired.
He gets expired.
Let's hope not.
Well, let's try. Okay.
All right. We have Ward 2, where there is a vacancy that I believe they're going to be working on that. And Crystal Presswood has been elected until April of 26.
That's right. And in Ward 3, Kathy Urschel continues on in her term, and Joanne Lawrence was reelected again, and her term will expire in April of 2026.
You know, I think it's time for a huge thank you to Donna White and Gina Herndon, who both served for these past years as aldermen here in Marionville. So thank you for all the service you did and the time you committed to our community.
Super excited for the new Board of Aldermen, and super grateful to those who have left a phenomenal legacy. Hey, just so you know, we've been working on economic development right here in Marionville, and there's an economic development brainstorming training session going to happen on the 30th of May at 6 p.m. at the Firehouse downtown. Make sure that the meeting's open to the public for us all to just give our feedback. We want to attract businesses to Marionville. This is a huge meeting. If you want to be involved, May the 30th at 6 p.m.
You know, so some of this news that we're sharing right now, Jim, is under the city section, and notes are often here from the last minutes of the meeting that the city had. And one of the things, huge shout out, I've seen a lot of comments on Facebook. The sidewalks are looking great that are being worked on. So look at those as you're driving by on ZZ and see what they're doing.
And the SIMCOG update on our comprehensive plan. I have no idea what SMCOG stands for, but it was in the notes. We missed the last meeting because we were on the road, but they're talking about our Marionville comprehensive city plan. And that's, if you've got things that you want to be involved in this, you want to have a part of the comprehensive planning committee, they're looking for 5 to 15 members of the city to be involved in that comprehensive planning committee.
Really good news. This is a committee that people that can be inside the city limits or outside the city limits. So, Jim, there's a lot of things on the elected officials where you have to be within the city limits. So this might be a good time for some of you that live out on some land to get involved.
That's right. There are recommendations we're looking for. I know that the mayor's looking for recommendations for people for the park board and the Board of Adjustments, along with aldermen in Ward 2. You've got to live in Ward 2 in order to be an alderman in Ward 2, but there is an open spot.
That makes sense.
Coming up later, Kris Bowling will be joining us, the Public Works Manager, but he had a couple of things for us.
Yeah, so some new bushes and trees have been planted on the square. So drive around, take a look, and see what's been done there. And then also, you know, it's encouraging to hear that nuisance letters were sent out.
That's good news.
Well, it is in the fact that a lot of them have been addressed.
That's fantastic.
So that is fabulous.
And the ultraviolet and movie making at the sewer is up and running. The ultraviolet at the sewer is up and going, which means they're getting rid of more bacteria. And I know they're still doing that the full length movie of the sewers in underground.
It's not going to be a movie that's going to be like
It'll be shown at the drive-through this summer in Aurora.
Drive-in.
That's right.
Drive-in, not drive-through.
And the police department is great news. Both the police department in Aurora and Marionville, they are fully staffed. That's great.
That's awesome.
Former Mayor Doris Rapp's went up to something.
Yes, they're continuing to make progress on just improving the old section of the library of the cemetery.
That was us.
Where there were headstones that were missing or under dirt or needing repair. And I just am so amazed at all the work they've been able to get done there at the cemetery.
They sold an old lot that nobody needed here in the city and raised some money for the city. That happened.
Actually, it's going to be voted on in the next meeting.
It's voted on, but the bid,
there you go.
The sealed bid was opened, and there was one guy that won the bid. In old business, they've been talking since December about renaming Lawrence Street in honor of Jeff Norris. What they decided and voted on at the last meeting was that they will have an honorary street name, Jeff Norris Way, because really all of us should live in Marionville doing it the Jeff Norris way.
Amen.
All right. So that was really cool.
I love it.
Again, another Kris Bowling thing, and he's going to join us in just a second here. You know what? I think we should leave this one for Kris to explain.
Leave that. We'll
the giant squirrel statue. Remind me when I get Kris in here. All right.
Sounds awesome.
Another really exciting thing, developer Todd Wright. He's got something he's really working on and trying to get the city to work with him on.
Yeah. And, it's just good news that willing to take those steps to talk to the city and say, hey, here's some things I want to do. How can we move forward on this? So we're just grateful for some possible new housing development options right here in town. So thank you, Todd Wright, for that.
Trying to put in 22 new homes. And that's just fantastic. All right, school updates. Here's one you're all looking for. Graduation on the 5th of May and the last day of school, the 10th of May. Coming up.
Unbelievable. On our last episode, we announced that Dalton Russell had signed to play football with Evangel, but Hugh Eaton also signed back in February with Evangel. So, Jim, we're going to have 2 Marionville football players playing with Evangel this fall.
All right. And of course, exams are going on this week. Love that.
Yeah.
And there are, let's see.
Well, those are the tests that they're taking right now that help them to figure out their scoring within the whole state. And last year, the high school scored really high. They got a 79, which made them 51 out of 550 different high schools in Missouri.
All right. A couple of other things. In the business world, Marionville Business Connect continues to attract business owners from all over Marionville. We had 16 in our last meeting. Next meeting for Marionville Business Connect at Central Place is the 9th of May from 4 to 5 p.m., sponsored by the Pickleball Warehouse. You want to know more about what's going on the pickleball courts in Marionville, attracting people from all over the country. Come to the meeting at Central Place on May the 9th at 4 p.m.
In new business, I also found out that the Comet Coffee House is hoping to have their grand opening very soon. So be watching for that news. And a big shout out to the Bank of Billings, member FDIC equal housing lender, for being a sponsor of the Good Place Marionville podcast. The great staff at the Bank of Billings is there to handle all of your banking needs, as well as home loans and small business loans. So stop in today and say hi at the Bank of Billings.
Tell them you heard about it right here on Good Place Marionville.
Good idea.
All right, random news.
All right, random news for today. The Curb Appeal Contest is coming back soon to Marionville, and they are looking for sponsors for this contest. They award the winners every month a $50 gift certificate or gift card. And so if you would like to sponsor that, reach out to them on the Marionville Pride Facebook page.
All right, fantastic. Apple Fest needs you. From sprucing up the streets to organize the Kid Zone, there's also from sprucing up the streets to organizing the Kid Zone, there's a place to plug in our next meeting, Martha.
May 20th, right here at Central Place at 7 o'clock. And we'd love to have you come and learn where you might want to volunteer. Vendors, advertisers, sponsors are still welcomed, and there's still some spots for booths. Yes. But they are filling up. It's not like last year and the last 40 years. There's already 40 or 50 booths sold. You need to get your booth now. Sign up for a booth, ads in a booklet, or to hang a banner on the gazebo. You need to come now. And if you have any questions, you can always talk to who? I'm actually the vendor director. Right. So, but there is an email, Marionville_Applefest_vendors@yahoo.com.
There
It's
you
a
go.
lot.
Marionville _Applefest _vendors at yahoo.com.
Yahoo!
All right. Don't forget
Wow.
Applefest coming up the weekend of September 20th and 21st. We are super excited. Last year, there were thousands of people.
Mhm.
No exaggeration there.
And I
For
will tell
Saturday
you,
parade. It was
we have some new food already for this year. So
That's good.
it's
And they
looking
ran out of
good.
food last year. Hopefully, they'll all bring more food because it
It's
was fantastic.
it's looking good.
Next meeting for Applefest?
Yeah, May 20th.
All
Love
right.
to have you here. I will personally welcome you and sit by you if you want me to.
No, you're sitting by me. What?
Okay.
You
You
can
don't
come
cut.
greet us in our booth.
No,
Oh, at the meeting?
At the meeting.
Oh, that's fine. Martha will greet you. I'm not going to the meeting. All right.
All right, so I'm going to exit now, and
right.
Kris is going to join you for the rest of the show, Jim.
All right, that's fantastic. And we are so excited to have Kris Bowling with us today. You know, he fills a couple of roles here in Marionville. One is Public Works Director, and one is Fire Chief of our incredible volunteer fire department. Kris Bowling, slide on in here, my friend, and let's have a conversation. Glad to have you. Everybody's used to seeing you this incredible outfit because, we did all those videos promoting that, hey, we needed you. We need people. We need volunteers on the fire department, don't we?
Absolutely. Always. Never have enough.
Never have enough. Yes, but we're not going to talk about the fire department today, although you look great. And that new patch, love the new patch. I wish we could zoom in on that. Well, can we zoom? Not on my zoomer. And here, yep. Sorry, my zoom. Oh, here it is. Zoom in. Zoom.
Not on my face.
There you go. Not in face. Look at that. I love that. The fighting white squirrel. It's fantastic. Love that. Very good. All right. So, Kris, I want to talk about your public works role first.
Yep.
But let's just get one update we didn't do was the first responder update, the fire department update. I know you got a new truck. We got a new truck, a new medical truck.
It is on order. It is going to be an
thought you got it.
F-150. No, it's not here yet. It's on order. And then all the other equipment has been ordered. So we're hoping to have it in service by July of this year.
All right, and then that beautiful green Expedition will go online as an auction piece.
Yep. The old green 2000 Ford Expedition is going to be sold and get the new F-150 to take its place.
All right, which we have a pull-out tray. It's going to be amazing.
Yep.
Is there anything else in the fire department we all need to know about?
Like we were talking about, we always need volunteers. We can never have enough. Whether you want to be on the medical side, fire side, we've got something for everybody. So
None of those
reach
people have to be able to climb ladders and jump into fiery buildings, or are there other things that are less strenuous that people can do? So people,
There's jobs for anybody, honestly. If you don't want to do that stuff, we always need somebody to drive, to hand out waters, to change out some air bottles. So there's something for everybody.
please contact Kris. You can talk to the ladies at the City Hall, Debbie or Amy, and get an application, or come talk to Kris. We need more people. We've got about 10 now on the volunteer fire department, but we could use more. All right.
Absolutely.
So how long have you lived in Marionville?
Going on 6 years. So
6? But did you grow up in this area though?
I grew up in Aurora. Went to school in Aurora.
Oh,
Yeah.
are we allowed to have people that grew up in Aurora on the show? And this is a good place, Marionville. Okay. All right. So you grew up in Aurora. You've been here 6 years. How long have you been on Public Works?
This is going on a year and a half. So I started in January of last year.
All right.
January
Perfect.
1st last year.
All right. So just January 1st last year. But you made such a big impact already.
Yeah.
So you're also the fire department chief. We're going to talk about that in another episode. But how long have you been involved in the fire department, the volunteer fire department?
With my total service, I started on Aurora Rural back in 2008. So
And Aurora Rural has all their trucks downtown Marionville.
correct. Yeah, they
Okay.
surround the city limits.
Oh.
So everybody in the country,
All
and
right.
the county.
So we're going to talk about that more in the next show because people need to know more about the volunteer fire department. But so what exactly do you do for us citizens of the city as Public Works Director? What do you do? What's your job?
So we manage all the street department operations, as well as the sewer plant, all the collection system, the manholes and sewer mains in the city. And this year we're kind of starting to take over the park. So we've been mowing and
Which
doing all the
park?
maintenance.
Because we
of
have two now.
Well, the city of Marionville Park, down by the creek in the springs. So, and we're also doing Logan Park, just the mowing, where the new walking trail is going to be going.
A lot of questions about Logan Park. Okay, the new walking trails. We've got a grant. We're still waiting for the money for the grant, right?
Correct. Yeah, it was approved. We're just going through all the studies and all the paperwork with the to get the money.
So the walking trail just going to be a big circle, or is it going to have like climbing mounds or exciting things?
No, it's going to be ADA compliant. It's going to be a 10-foot wide asphalt walking path. It's going to be a 1/4 mile. So
Quarter mile walking path, 10-foot wide, so we can actually have wheelchair races.
correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Okay, all right. So, what kind of projects, special projects, do you have going on this spring and summer as part of the Public Works Department?
The main thing is going to be the sewer CCTV and cleaning project. That's going to start the second week of May, which I believe is the 13th.
Okay.
12th or 13th of May. So they're going to start on the south side of town and work north back towards the sewer plant, cleaning and TVing all of our sewer mains.
So, like a pressure washer, they're like pressure washing while they're in there.
Yep, it's a high pressure jetter nozzle is what they do that cleans the mains and gets an inspection of all the mains after it's cleaned.
And does a video of everything, which then will be shown at the Aurora drive-through this summer.
Absolutely.
Well, what an exciting video that'll be. Why are we doing that? Why are we taking videos of our sewers?
It's just to get an overall condition inspection of our sewer mains. So it's going to help with our I&I. It's inflow and infiltration into the sewer.
Oh, to see if outside water, like
Correct.
stormwater from today,
Stormwater,
would get in there. But you also, aren't you thinking that you may actually uncover some additional lines you didn't know about?
There might be some that we don't know about. There's also going to be some manholes that we're going to have to find that have been buried or paved over the years. So
I can't believe that would
that's
happen.
going to be
All right.
fun.
But but you mentioned something in your update about UV, like
So
the sewer plant.
yeah, so our sewer plant from April 1st to October 1st has to have our ultraviolet light system up and running that kills the E. coli that comes through, and it puts into the Honey Creek out there.
So every bit of water that goes through the sewer plant gets UV'd.
Yep.
Wow. So we don't have to worry about what do you have sunscreen on that so it doesn't get
It's
sunburned?
pretty bright. No, it's down in a ditch. You can't see it unless you
Okay.
pull the racks
Okay.
out.
All right. What other kind of projects do you have in the pipeline looking out? I know that you've been putting trees in the square. You took out some old trees along it's Mill Street.
Street.
Took some
Mhm.
big trees out from Mill Street because they were tearing up the road.
Yeah,
What
and
else?
sidewalk. And so just looking forward, one of my goals for my position and also with the park, I want to have a pond built for fishing and recreation. It seems like we should capitalize on that. We have all these springs here to have a good fishing pond. I think the closest one is the city of Monette. They do community event fishing
You're
days.
talking like a 1/4 acre fishing pond or an acre fishing pond. What are you thinking?
I would like to have a few acres, so we'll see what we can come up with. We're kind of out of room, so we'll have to see what we can come up with.
But the whole idea behind that is you've got to find you're looking for grant money to help us
Correct.
do this.
Yes, yeah, we don't have anything budgeted currently for that, but I did talk to the Missouri Department of Conservation. They will help stock and manage it after we do get it built. And there's also grants through them after we have it built to add ramps or bathrooms or whatever for it.
So is there so really what we're looking for is somebody that is just really, they've got money, they love to fish, and they'd love to contribute. Maybe we could find somebody that is sponsored by Bass Pro that would love to put a bass fishing pond in Marionville.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody that has any information on that, please reach out because we've got to get something going on it.
What do you find most rewarding about your job as Public Works Director?
Well, I mean, I work with the public every day, making Marionville a better place, just like this podcast. So anything we do directly affects the citizens and visitors of Marionville, as well as the water quality with the sewer plant. Everybody works and plays in the creek, or it goes down to the lake. So it's just I just take
A lot of water going down to the lake today.
yeah,
A lot of
there
water
is.
going. I saw
a lot of
I haven't
rain.
seen the ditches that full in a really long time. What about most challenging? I mean, what do you find most challenging about your job besides the fact that people call you about potholes on ZZ and it's not a road that you control?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there's more potholes today.
There is. Yeah, the rainy weather always brings those out. Honestly, the most difficult or
Remember, this is good place, Mary.
Yeah.
This is so challenging, but
it's
good.
challenging, obviously, but the animal control is always an issue with loose dogs. So I would just
Because loose cats aren't a problem.
they are a problem, but we don't really have anything over that. But yeah, the loose dogs. I just want to say, take care of your dogs. Keep them on a leash, and a fence, invisible fence. There's so many ways to keep them in your yard and not make them somebody else's problem. So I get multiple calls a day on loose
And bring
dogs.
them inside at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So they're no longer howling at the moon.
Absolutely.
Is there anything we could do as a community, the city of Marionville, people that live and breathe here, to help make your job easier? Anything we should be keeping our eye out for?
I don't know about as making it easier, but just get involved. I know this is getting people the word out, getting people involved with the meetings. Just reach out if you have something going on. Just let us know. I don't know. I mean, if I can't fix something if I don't know about it, so just reach out to me or City Hall. We'll get something going on it.
All right. Any final good thoughts for our citizens, great citizens of Marionville?
It's a good place to be. Come join us. Come visit. Come get a hold of us. Come join our fire department. Come join one of the many boards that need people. I'm also the park board president. So there's all the boards that obviously they're volunteer positions, but we need people for all the boards. Just get involved.
Kris Bowling, thank you so much for jumping here on the Good Place Marionville podcast. And as we finish up the podcast, just remember that this podcast is a great platform for you to highlight local businesses. So if you've got a local business you'd like highlighted, just contact us at goodplacemarionville@hotmail.com. There are many sponsorship levels that we would love to have you join us in this effort. There's so much good stuff happening. Help us to do it. We need your help. It takes a small army of reporters to keep up with all the stories of good happening in Marionville. Please let us know if you'd like to contribute a report. We'll make sure we give you the credit. Email us at goodplacemarionville@hotmail.com or call 417-677-8167. That's 417-677-8167. This is the number that you see posted on the side of the building at Central Place. Thank you for joining us at the Good Place Marionville podcast. Keep your eyes out for the good, and together we can celebrate Marionville.